All right, folks, today we're going to Crosby Island Marsh. That back there was the entrance to Moss Park. The only way to get to Crosby Island is to walk down the road along the ditch here to get to the actual entrance. The gate is right up here. So once we get to it, show off some more. But yeah, you do have to walk about 0.2 miles, something like that, up the road from the main entrance of Moss Park to get to this park. Okay, so here's the main entrance to the Crosby Island Marsh Preserve. It is part of the Florida National Scenic Trail. And like I said before, you are roadside. Looks like, I mean, you could technically pull a car up here if you wanted to, but the safest bet is to go down into Moss Park down the road here and park in there. Just keep in mind there's a $3 fee to enter the park, but then you can also use the facilities. There's restrooms and water fountains and things like that in there as well. So it's kind of a nicer spot to park. So yeah, so here's your entrance in the gate, or in the fence, and we'll get going. Right off the bat, this is not a very well-defined trail. It just looks like the surrounding area, so keep an eye out for these orange blazes. They seem to be the only way to truly navigate through this area. Love an empty kiosk. But yeah, I mean, it cleared up a little bit here, but yeah, just keep an eye out for your blazes. That seems to be the best bet through here. Okay, so you entered this small fenced off area between two of the roads, and then the rest of the park is on the other side of the road. So you've come to this little area here, and there are no markings of any kind, but you kind of know where you are because you're sort of at the corner of the property where you know, the property ends essentially. So I guess you got to find the break in the fence to get back out of here, and luckily this gate over here was in view of where I was, but yeah, like they just sort of gave up. There's no trail, there's no markings, no nothing. So that's kind of not only disappointing but annoying, you know. But yeah, there you go. So if you just wander to the edge of the property, you'll find this gate, and over on the other side of this tree, there's your break that you can walk through. So yeah, and then like literally across the street is where you're going, and that's where the main part of the trail is, and that's really where this gets good. But yeah, there's also not a crossing here. It's just literally don't get hit. So have fun, I guess. So this is what I was talking about. I started us here, and then like somewhere around like just past that pink dot, which is a bench, the trail just sort of vanishes, and you have to figure out where this next blue dot is. So we're right here now, and finally there's a kiosk with some stuff, so you get a good idea of where we're going. We're gonna make a loop through the property, and then come on back. It should only be about a mile. We do want to make sure that we turn off at the white trail though, because this is still the Florida National Scenic Trail, so it's going to keep going beyond the bounds of the property. So far, the only thing I don't like about this property on this end is how close I am to the road, like, and it's fairly busy, so like there's a decent amount of traffic coming through. but I'm walking away from the road now, so hopefully that improves as we get out here. It's getting close to noon, so I don't expect that I'll see too terribly much as far as wildlife is concerned, but hopefully this is a nice little walk through the property. All right, we came to the division, so the white trail will bring me back out here. It is clearly marked with blazes, and the Florida Trail goes this way with now orange and white blazes. So we're gonna keep going around this way and come back out over here. There's a nice little like pond over there as well. Maybe we'll get close to later. But yeah, so keep an eye out for those, and hopefully the white trail blaze at the other end is easy enough to spot. I'm finally far enough away from the road that I can't hear it, and just as I got out here, we got into some really nice trees here. This is some good looking trail. So far the trail's been kind of ugly. The woods are just sort of sandy and dead and not really pleasant to hike through. But out here, you got all these nice pine trees. It's real nice. Alrighty, so we've come back out to the road. This is where the trail splits. So if you continue out across the roadway here, then you will continue down the Florida Scenic Trail. They have their kiosk here. What's in the box? Ants. So, yeah, so as you can see, Florida National Scenic Trail goes all the way from the Everglades up in through here and into the Panhandle. You are in there somewhere. Yeah, in here. So yeah. But anyways, we're gonna keep going this way through the property. Looks like if you leave the property, you gotta go north along the roadway. So that's, just keep that in mind. You gotta go north along the roadway. I don't know exactly where it goes up there, but it's not across the road. There's nothing across the road except a for sale sign. So we're just gonna keep going this way, loop back around through the property, and we should be about done. This is a pretty short little walk through here. This section isn't all that terribly nice. You kind of walk back along the roadway, and it's not a terribly busy road, and the speed limit's not very high, so it's not the worst, but still, it's traffic, you know? You can hear cars pretty regularly. There you go. As you are in a neighborhood, the neighborhoods of Moss Park and Isle of Pine are through here. So you're gonna get a lot of traffic. Like that. So yeah, not my favorite little section through here. I enjoyed it much better when I was away from the road. But the path itself is actually pretty nice. Even though it's sand, it's really hard packed. So it's actually been quite easy to walk on. Usually when I get sand trails like this, they're real difficult because they're loose. And it makes every step you take way, way more strenuous than just, you know, walking this distance. So there's an upside. There's a path that way, which doesn't seem to go to anything. There's no markers or nothing. So you're just gonna keep going this way, I guess. And yeah. So I just realized that turn that I passed back there was probably where I wanted to go. And it would have gotten me away from the road. But there is a path that takes you all the way along the perimeter of the property as well. Back to the entrance. Just so you know. Lovely live oak right here. So, yeah, there are two ways to do this. I definitely recommend turning off and going the other way. Yeah? Okay.